Well, I'm still following the income store story. I only heard about it a few days ago, really well after everyone had started to buzz about it. I'm totally late to the game on this. But honestly, now that I know more about it, it astounds me that people are not talking about this. And I honestly feel like I have a responsibility to share resources in case any investors who are involved in this want to know or need to know where to look for information. It seems like folks aren't getting a lot of communication from the company right now. Actually, some of the best places to get the most up-to-date information and news is through a couple of different forums. And I'm going to put all these links in the description, so if you're coming across this, you can go look yourself. But on Reddit, there are tons of actual investors and even former employees who are coming together to just pool their knowledge. The fastlaneforum.com, this is another place where contractors, employees, and investors have come and are just laying it out there. And so what's going on? A few days ago, when I made that last income store video, I was fairly hopeful about a recovery recurring. I'm not so sure anymore. I'm really having my doubts if that's going to happen. The lawyers are definitely involved. The SEC is definitely involved. And people are really scared. And I don't blame them. So really quick, I'm just going to go through what I have up here on the screen because this is the whole purpose of having a screen share. But up here is the fastlaneforum.com. There's about 5 or 6 different pages. People reporting as contractors how overdue they were getting paid, how many employees are involved with the company, how many contractors they had. I had no idea Income Store was this big. They had over 250 full-time employees and hundreds of contractors around the world. And this trouble that we're seeing right now has been developing for months. And what burns me is that I know of some people who got involved into the company recently, and representations were made to them that the company was viable and strong. And that makes me angry. The company took a major hit when Facebook changed its rules about traffic after the bomb went off about exchanging and selling third-party information. Many of the sites that Income Store had either built or purchased for investors were monetized with Facebook traffic. Next, I think a lot of their SEO strategies must have put them in a place where they were vulnerable to Google algorithm updates. And frankly, looking back at all of the volatility this last fall in September and October and November, and even into December, it really comes to no surprise at this point that this is the critical time. And I actually learned for the first time that the company went basically all in on e-com. They built over 400 stores in the e-commerce space. And one of the comments in one of these forums was that all 400 of the stores were broken in some way. The employees are reporting that they think it's totally over. The contractors think it's over. One thing I wanted to report is that several groups of investors are getting together to support each other and to discuss what is going on and to share information. Naturally, since I'm not an investor, I can't get access to these groups, but I just wanted to share that they exist. One of the ones that I saw is called Income Store Survivors, and it has currently 132 members, and it looks right now that they're fairly active. I came across an article confirming that the lawsuits have been filed or are starting to be filed. This is one from a group that invested in the Income Store from New Zealand, and they are looking to recover 240 grand. As I said before, the lawyers are circling. This guy right here is soliciting investors who want to hire him to pursue recovery from the Income Store. Of note in here, the lawyer uses the term upon information and belief. And so what they suspect or feel like they may be able to bring claims about is securities violations, essentially securities fraud, for selling securities without registering them with the SEC. Most people don't realize that the term securities means a lot more than just stock in the company. Securities can mean just about anything of value. It could be real estate, it could be services, it could be websites. Someone said that the SEC had raided the Income Store offices, but I haven't seen the article that confirms that. I can't remember if I answered this question anywhere else in the video, but do I think it is time to call your lawyer? If you are an investor, the answer is yes. I think it's time. If you'd asked me a week ago, I'm not sure what I would have said, but I think it's time. The involvement of the SEC tells me that it's probably time. I also noted in several of the forums that many investors missed out on this personal message video from Ken Cartwright. It came out 2 weeks ago, and a lot of people mentioned that they hadn't seen it. And so if you are an investor, this is something that should have gone to you. A lot of people were saying that it got sent to their spam folder. This video is both somewhat helpful and hopeful and also terrifying. Cartwright says the word bankruptcy multiple times. He tries to sound hopeful, hopeful and explains through the whole e-com debacle. And he's trying to make it sound really hopeful, like there is a chance. It sounds like he's honestly fighting super hard to save the company. They were even trying at some point in December to sell a part of the company in order to keep it afloat. In the last video I made about Income Store, I showed the moratorium notice that was dated December 13th. And in that notice, the company asked that the website owners and investor forego several months of their payments. And in this video that you're seeing on the screen right here, and the link again is going to be in the description, he explains why it is that they did that. He explains that it's less about trying to get people paid, like paying off debts or paying employees, but to actually be able to secure financing. It's very persuasive to encourage people to agree not to get paid as they were promised per their contract. If you're watching this video, I really think you should go and watch this and then go back into the comments of this video and let me know what you think. The forums, the Reddit forum and then this fastlaneforum.com are really rife with complaints about how the company did business. It just really seems like this was a neat idea, but just really poorly executed. They were trying to grow so fast. And when they recognized that they were in trouble, they should have stopped taking money. When Facebook went sideways, when that Facebook traffic went sideways with the data issues, they should have stopped taking money until they got their business solid. But I guess they must have had to take money. It was at that point that they couldn't survive. They had promised all of these guaranteed returns and had no way to pay them. They had hundreds of employees and hundreds of contractors that they needed to pay. But the right thing to do would have been to stop. So I'll give Courtright props for working his butt off to try to save the company, but I'm having a really hard time feeling sympathetic toward him and his partner or anyone else who was involved in the management of this company. They should have known better. They should have known better. The thing is, the principals in this company have a very real risk of going to jail. Not just losing their money, not just losing their company, not just going into bankruptcy, but they could go to jail. I think more people should be talking about this. I can't believe it's not on the news. I can't believe other YouTube creators in this space aren't talking about it. Blows my mind. As always, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you know, what you don't know, what your questions are. I think there are some legitimate outfits out there who are doing the same business model a bit slower, but they are doing it right. It's definitely a cautionary tale for them and also for people who are looking to get in on this type of investment. But I also think that it's going to make it harder for those legitimate businesses that are doing it right to grow and to get more investors. Brutal. Just brutal. All right, I'm going to keep watching this. If I come across any updates or information, I'll let you know. I'm going to stay in the forums and just keep lurking like I always do. We'll see you in the next one.